The highly anticipated fifth season of The Crown, which premieres on Netflix on November 9th, finally has a full official trailer, teasing the new cast and new scandals. Are we gonna see the Princess Diana's death? Will there be a famous phone conversation between Charles and Camilla? While the royal family is not happy with the Netflix interpretation, and here's what we can tell you. Be sure to like the video and don't forget to subscribe to stay in tune with the celebrity rumors. And let's move to our scandals. As you probably well know, The Crown is a Netflix original drama that follows the life and history of the British monarchy and the royal family during the long reign of Queen Elizabeth II, beginning with the very start of her stint as a British monarch and continuing all the way to Princess Diana's entry into the royal family in the 80s. The Crown covers a lot of ground, with very little of what it portrays stemming from anything resembling verified information or fact. With the plot of the show outlined by actual events, such as royal tours, coronations, marriages, and meetings with everyone from Jackie Kennedy to Winston Churchill, the show seeks to fill in the blanks of those parts of royal life that the public doesn't get to witness, taking place within the walls of Buckingham Palace. Season 5 picks up in the early 90s as Charles and Diana's marriage is falling apart. Prince Charles pressures his mother to allow him to divorce Diana, presenting a constitutional crisis of the monarchy, according to the official description. Following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, The Crown paused production of Season 6, giving their respects to the royal family. Yet, an unnamed friend of King Charles and a royal insider called the upcoming fifth season exploitative and added that Netflix has no qualms about mangling people's reputations. The biggest amid that all is how the show manages to portray Princess Diana as the story now approached her untimely death. Turns out the creators have found a way to dodge that. If you're unaware, Princess Diana and her boyfriend Dadi Al Fayed lost their lives on August 31st, 1997, in a car accident while they were traveling to Paris. For the past 2 decades, there have been numerous theories related to their death, and some are very wild and controversial. Elizabeth Debicki, playing Diana this season, told EW for our latest cover story featuring the upcoming season that the final days of Princess Diana's life are being handled with sensitivity by the cast and crew of The Crown. Debicki is taking over the role of Diana from Emma Corrin, who played her in Season 4 of The Crown. So, what are we gonna see? While production for the final season is currently underway, Netflix confirmed to The Sun that we will not see the exact moment of Diana's death. The exact moment of the crash impact will not be shown, a Netflix spokesperson told The Sun this week after the outlet reported that crew members are pushing back on the ideas being tabled. A set source claimed that with Diana's death still so fresh and upsetting, it feels as though a line is being crossed, adding, some production staff are now starting to speak about their feelings. King Charles III's spokesperson declined to comment on the piece, although sources close to Prince William are reportedly bracing for his negative reaction to the depiction. A production source told Deadline that the crew was dreading filming Diana's death and that there is certain anxiety, a palpable sense of being slightly on edge among the production team. There's bombshell sensitivity surrounding this one, the unnamed source added. Ultimately, it was decided that The Crown will not recreate the collision itself. Instead, it will focus on the moments leading up to the crash and the aftermath of the tragedy. The insider then confirmed that The Crown will focus on the run-up to the tragic car crash, including the vehicle leaving the Ritz after midnight with paparazzi in pursuit, and then the aftermath with the British ambassador to France swinging into action with the Foreign Office, and then the subsequent constitutional aftermath. As reported by Deadline, Dominic West's Charles will be shown flying to Paris for retrieval of Diana's casket, contrasted with the casual racism Fayed's father Mohammed faced by French authorities when collecting his son's body. What are your thoughts about that? Leave a comment to let us know what you think. However, the crown may help audience members understand the challenges that the royal family deals with, but it has diverged from fact on several occasions, creating new scandals and indignations from the royal family. In the first season, several creative liberties were taken for the sake of dramatic impact. The quarrel between Michael Adine and Martin Chuteris over who would be the Queen Elizabeth's private secretary. Similarly, Winston Churchill's wife Clementine did not burn the portrait of her husband. Also, the portrayal of Princess Margaret, Elizabeth's younger sister, was heavily dramatized. In the series, Margaret acts as the Queen's ambassador while she is on an overseas tour, but the speeches she gives are entirely fictional. Season 2 came under heavy criticism for its inaccuracies, with the Wall Street Journal calling for movies and television to not lead viewers to make false assumptions. Depicted events such as Elizabeth's speech at the Jaguar factory, Prince Edward's dismissal from the royal family, Queen's quarrels with Jackie Kennedy, Prince Charles' struggles in Gordonstown School, and Prime Minister Anthony Eden's nervous breakdown did not happen. Season 3 and 4 were called out even more for subverting the truth. Many events were shown in a historically inaccurate order so that the show could develop key relationships. The relationship between Prince Charles and Camilla was twisted. It's implied in the series that Charles and Camilla continued seeing each other during Charles' marriage to Diana, but they did not resume their relationship until after Charles' marriage had broken down. Several major events are omitted, such as Princess Anne's wedding to Captain Mark Phillips in 1973 and the revelation that Anthony Blunt was a spy in 1979. Even though Season 4 was highly supportive of Princess Diana's character, there were some questionable moments. For example, the ridiculing of Diana by the royals' family staff is highly exaggerated. A scene in which the secretary, Sir John Riddle, questions Diana's intelligence is entirely fictitious. Coming back to Season 5 moments, there seems to be another very controversial episode shown in the series. The famous Tampongate phone call, a tremendous scandal that happened in January 1993. The press had an absolute field day when, just 3 months after Charles and Princess Diana had formally separated, a full transcript of a sexy telephone call between Charles and Camilla in 1989 was printed in the People newspaper. Under the headline "Charles and Camilla, the tape," the explicit 6-minute phone call went into excruciating detail as the longtime lovers fantasized about being intimate with each other. Even worse, there was full audio to accompany that, thanks to a rogue radio enthusiast who had stumbled upon the chat using a high-tech scanning device. Dominic West, who plays King Charles in the upcoming 5th season, has confirmed the wince-inducing moment is going to be shown in all its glory, or horror, depending on how you view that. The Crown has already supposedly been facing complaints from the palace regarding its upcoming season for the way it will portray the new monarch, which definitely makes more sense after the confirmation that the series will show this detail. It had been assumed the call would have been silently swept under the rug, as West's predecessor John O'Connor revealed back in 2020 that he was gratefully not having to act it out. When they offered me the role, one of my first questions was, I say questions, I think it was pretty much a statement. We are not doing the tampon phone call. Adding, the Crown was my one chance for my parents to see something I've acted in with no shame, and there's no way I was going to scuttle that by talking about tampons on Netflix. Now, West has said not only did he relish playing this part of royal history alongside his Camilla Olivia Williams, but it reframed his opinion on the whole scandal. Speaking with Entertainment Weekly, he said, "I remember thinking it was something so sordid and deeply embarrassing at the time. Looking back on it and having to play it, what you're conscious of is that the blame was not with these two people, two lovers who were having a private conversation. What's really is how invasive and disgusting was the press attention to it, that they printed it out verbatim and you could call a number and listen to the actual tape." With the new season coming this November, we are sure there is going to be so much more than just one scandalous situation. The Crown has certainly helped generate interest in the historical figures, events, and controversies that it covers. It's a great way to get audiences more engaged in history, and let's be honest, even if it's not entirely true, it surely is captivating. Don't forget to press that bell button and subscribe to our channel to always be in tune with celebrity news. And of course, leave a like.